Please join me in welcoming a mentor and what I call friend, Dr. Anna Sanchez, to the stage. Oh, doctor, sorry, director. Freudian slip, it'll happen.
All right. Well, while they get my one slide up, and this is, obviously I'm one of the things that stand between you and a delicious dinner, but really I just want to be able to thank all of our wonderful speakers today. I think this has been a really productive conversation, and I can't actually believe we're at this point, because it was several years ago, before that thing that happened, the pandemic, that we had these conversations about what does it take for Albuquerque to become an age-friendly city, and how do we get community leaders, community groups, interested individuals to have this conversation on a practical level while our community is facing many challenges that we're facing right now. Let's see if we can put this over here. So one of the things that I wanted to let you know, that this has been a long-awaited journey for DSA. I think this Department of Senior Affairs, as I always say, I'm very honored to be able to have this role. It is an appointed position. One of my favorite stories to share with folks, the employees that I get to work with, they know this, but long story short is when I was actually appointed, Mayor's like, I have the best job for you, Director of Senior Affairs. And I wasn't looking to leave my last position, but I was like, that's really interesting. And kind of when you feel like you have this kind of calling and where it comes from, I soon showed up for my new employee orientation. I hadn't been with the city for probably about 10 years, and I came to NEO, is what they call it. And right after that was over, I headed to North Domingo, Baca. And I go over there, and I was just going to show up at every center that we had to meet all the staff. And I walk into the lunchroom, and I start introducing myself to folks at each table and saying, hi, my name is Anna Sanchez. I just came out of new employee orientation. I'm Georgia 2.0, which was a former director, lovely person. And this woman, she pulls me aside and she says, what makes you qualified to be in this job? And I was kind of taken back, but when we're talking about this conversation of ageism and really being able to see the experiences and values that people bring, my story really begins many, many years ago. This is my family. This is not a flattering picture of me, so I want you to know how important it is that I share this picture with you. This is my parents. My dad is 80, my mom is 76, and my daughter is now 13. And so I'm part of that sandwich generation. So when I, graciously and respectfully responded to this community member that asked me, what made you qualified to have this job? I said, here are my credentials, here's my experience, I'm very excited to be able to lead this effort for our department. And I said, and because it matters to me too, as a daughter and as a mother, and as somebody that wants to invest my time and energy to make a difference in Albuquerque, I said, so I'm here at the table. We want to be able to use our spaces for the Department of Senior Affairs, not only to be able to raise that conversation about what it means to grow older, because we are doing that. I'm growing older right now. And I think out of everything that this job has taught me is that, it is never too early to plan, to be able to strive and to be able to dream, because that dream does not die. And we have those dreams. I have dreams from my parents. I'm very fortunate that my mother gets to go bug folks at Los Volcanes every Wednesday with her 10 class. I'm glad that my dad now has a card group that he gets together with and gets out of that house every once in a while. And I'm very grateful that my daughter gets a chance to be able to learn and experience her grandparents. When I said that my journey began long ago, it's not only because of my very close family network. We were not close to our extended family, surprisingly, but we had this neighbor that lived down the street. I grew up in San Gabriel, California, so I'm not a native. But, that experience of this neighbor, Esther, actually etches in my mind today. And that's part of why I want to be able to share this experience, because even my folks that I work with every day don't know this. So Esther was somebody that didn't have any friends and family, but she did befriend my parents, and it wasn't long then that she ended up spending a lot of time with our family. And when she knew that she wasn't be able to take care of herself, she asked my parents if she could move in with us. And she lived with us for 7 years. And she passed away when I was in 9th grade. And that was the first person that I ever experienced to actually witness them leaving this world. But it was also a really telling point for the fact that she was able to be part of my family's network when I didn't actually have that same kind of connection to my own personal family. So that was kind of a really weird journey. Now I'm getting all emotional too, Morgan. I don't know what's going on. But I think that that's one of the things that we bring our life experiences to, the work that we do, and we try to do that with the care and compassion. And I know our staff at DSA does that every single day, because we do see a lot of folks that are active and out there, But we also see a lot of those folks that are also isolated and homebound and have that experience every day that we bring joy and care to them. So it is a big journey that the department has been able to take over the last year through this age-friendly work, but it also is a bigger part of the larger community conversations that we have to have this conversation about how ageism is really something that we need to work through. I'm lucky that the Department of Senior Affairs, we are able to be our advocates for older adults. But we have tremendous opportunities with many of our volunteer programs, with our spaces that we offer to the community to bring those generations together and to really have also family conversations, because we should be doing that because it's for the betterment of our whole community when we start having these conversations about how do we stay active and engaged as we continue to age, because nobody wants to be able to grow older alone. So I think one of the things that I just wanted to share with the audience was, it is a conversation, interestingly enough, about not pitting older versus younger, because it shouldn't be like that. It should be us collectively working as a community to be innovative. Our department right now is going through a strategic plan. If I say the word work plans, half the staff will probably fall over in their chairs. But a lot of that is to be able to evaluate the programs and services that we're doing, but also figuring out how do we work smarter as this community. I mean, you heard the demographic shift that we're seeing. It's pretty frightening and it's pretty apparent. It's coming right at us. Just as we came out of a pandemic that really broadcasts senior affairs with a lot of the nutrition programs and support services that we do. So we need to be thinking about how do we prepare more and more as this community and as a city to be smarter in our planning. And that's a big part of why we're very grateful that we have a lot of our other city departments here today to be part of this conversation about how we plan for our community, how do we use these spaces that we have and the resources that we have, but it's gonna take all of us collectively as community partners to work on this effort. It's going to be something that's going to attract, obviously, we need volunteers, we need people that are able, we need people that are interested to do this work collectively, not only with the Department of Senior Affairs, but really with the city of Albuquerque. So I feel like we're in a unique opportunity right now. Certainly, I think our goal, and certainly with Mayor Keller, I think a lot of it that we really want to be able to champion for you all is that we want to advocate for all ages. We have the opportunity to do that. And so I think one of the things that I want to make sure that you all understand is that this work is inspiring, but it does take all of us to be at the table to have this conversation. And this will be one of many that will be coming to you very soon. So I do have to just give a shout out, obviously, to Agnes Vallejos. I think, she helped this dream become a reality, and I think that her and her staff, and certainly the leadership and staff that we have with us today, certainly is committed to doing our work with care and compassion. We're going to be doing things a lot smarter. We're going to be asking for your help and support, and certainly the work is not yet done. So know this is one of many that we will have for future age-friendly summits in the future. So we want to make sure that you know that, and we will hopefully not keep you from dinner. So that's my story.